In LA this week,
I'm Anna Marcos. 1 year after a fatal shooting at LAX, is our airport as safe as it could be? That story coming up.
A huge fire at a Venice storage facility leaves many unanswered questions for tenants whose goods may or may not have been destroyed. I'm Gloria with the story next.
I'm Rasha Goel. Up next, a treat for Angelenos as an international vessel makes its way to the Port of Los Angeles.
hello and welcome to LA This Week. Thanks for joining us. I'm Ellen Chang. It's been a year since a shooting left an LAX TSA security officer dead. And now on the anniversary of that crisis, the union that represents airport police officers has raised concerns about safety at the airport. Anna Marcos talks to both sides.
1 year after an armed killer gunned down TSA officer Gerardo Hernandez, causing mass chaos at LAX, members of the Los Angeles Airport Peace Officers Association say the airport is still not truly safe. Among their complaints, not enough officers or resources, too many chains of command during crisis, especially between airport police and the LAPD, and airport police still lack their own 911 call system.
If you go on the payphone right here and dial 911, it's going to go to LAPD. Then LAPD will send somebody from Venice down here, and oftentimes we don't even know the call went out.
Union officials also claim an audit shows that funds meant for airport safety are being siphoned off to the LAPD.
When LAPD K-9 is off at the Oscars and still paying for by the airport, that's illegal.
But LA World Airports has issued a 1-year update on safety policies on the anniversary of the shooting, and airport police chief himself says LAX is safer than ever.
We use all of our partnerships here. In addition to LAPD, we also have the FBI, the DEA, ICE, DHS. It's not our responsibility to be on an island and not police this airport with everybody's help.
Among the new safety policies listed in the update, the airport now trains employees on handling mass incidents and evacuations. It's training all partner agencies in joint drills that include active shooter incidents, and it's improving joint radio communications. A new emergency command post vehicle and increased airport police hiring are also on the agenda.
That my officers responded to that incident as quickly as they did, and within 4 minutes and 8 seconds took that individual into custody that was armed with an MP-15 assault rifle is remarkable.
It doesn't matter whose presence it is.
As long as there's police here.
As long as there's police here, I think it's good.
Airport officials say they're also launching new audit procedures to make sure money meant for LAX safety goes to LAX. I'm Anna Marcos for LA This Week.
The Los Angeles Fire Department is also issuing a report card of its own, and it shows that emergency response times by the department actually worsened since last year. Gloria's reports on the department's new data tracking system, which promises greater accuracy and accountability.
LA City leaders face reporters knowing the report card they're about to read isn't flattering, but at least it's accurate, unlike firefighting data from past years.
You pointed out, and we agreed on the council when I was there at the time, that the data stunk. We didn't know if it was real. Today, we have accountability.
The new data collection system known as Firestat releases its first ever results. They show average response times for fires between January and September took 7 seconds longer than the same period last year. Also, wait times for 911 medical help took 3 seconds longer on average. LA City fire officials say they will update these results monthly.
The public can go online and find citywide response time data and localized response time data from 102 LAFD neighborhood fire stations.
LAFD Fire Chief Ralph Terrazas describes Firestat, a system that's said to combine detailed data on emergency response and regular meetings with department commanders to better gauge employee performance. Firestat launched 2 years ago, after LAFD officials admitted to releasing incorrect reports regarding response times, reports that made it appear the department was performing better than it actually was. City leaders say Firestat will improve accountability and resource management at each station.
And the longer we have that data and continue to collect it, the more informed decisions in deployment and financial commitments can be made.
And that means extra resources could be deployed to so-called weak spots between South LA and San Pedro, the Santa Monica Mountains, also Mulholland Drive south of Encino, where firefighting response times are typically slower, partly because of the difficulties accessing local roads. In downtown LA, Gil Reyes for LA This Week.
The LA City Fire Department becomes the first fire agency in the nation to regularly gather and post response time data online. See monthly results for all 102 stations by logging on to lafd.org/about/performance. And several firefighters suffered minor injuries fighting a fire at a Venice storage facility. The damage there is believed to be so extensive, federal agents are called in to investigate the cause. Gloria has more from the scene.
LA City firefighters worked 14 hours to contain flames erupting from Extra Space storage on Venice Boulevard. Though the fire is out, the ordeal continues for tenant Maureen Simpkins.
I'm paying $900 a month for storage here. My life is in there.
Specifically, many of her prized possessions were inside when fire destroyed about a third of the facility. At this point, she's not sure if some or all of her property was destroyed. These include expensive artwork, winter clothes, crystal.
Probably a $10,000 dining set, marble and stainless. Very expensive stuff.
Fire investigators aren't letting her into the business to check because it is considered an active crime scene. The LAFD has called in the federal ATF's National Response Team to investigate. That's usually reserved for arson and explosive incidents, though as of deadline time for this story, an official cause has not been determined. Fire officials also aren't sure if the business had working sprinklers. It could be cited if it didn't.
Los Angeles Fire Department has a very strict sprinkler ordinance, but they take into consideration types of construction, types of occupancy, and the use.
Maureen Simpkins tries to stay positive.
I mean, the first thing you say to yourself is, oh my God. The next thing you say is, I have my health, I have my life.
As of deadline time for this story, it's still very early in the investigation. LAFD officials urging tenants to get the latest updates on their belongings by logging on to extraspace.com. In Venice, Gil Reyes for LA This Week.
The website also has contact numbers to Extra Space corporate offices. Log on to extraspace.com and type Venice, California in the search option for updates. An LAPD use of force incident on October 16th is now under review by the LAPD Force Investigation Division and Internal Affairs. The LAPD released a statement saying around 12:15 p.m. that day, officers from the Newton Division were involved in a use of force incident at 55th Street and South Avalon Boulevard. According to the Los Angeles Times, an officer allegedly kicked and beat 22-year-old Clinton Alford as he was being held down by other officers. Alford was being arrested for allegedly possessing drugs at the time of the incident. Councilman Curran Price released a statement saying that he was deeply disturbed to hear about this incident as our community is still reeling from recent incidents of excessive and even deadly force. He is demanding that the LAPD ensures that these officers are held accountable for their actions. The issue over parks and money needed to improve them will have voters deciding how to vote at the polls on Tuesday. Anna Marcos takes us on a sunrise hike as two nature-loving local leaders put on a pitch for Proposition P.
Nothing like a sunrise from the Griffith Park Observatory, and this hardy group makes it a daily practice to take in the early morning sun.
Every day, 6 a.m., up we go.
Among the early morning trekkers today, Councilmember Tom LaBonge and County Supervisor Zev Yaroslavsky. Both are nature lovers as well as football fans. Both are here to support Proposition P, a measure put on Tuesday's ballot by county supervisors. A small part of the measure would fund anti-gang programs, but most of the money would fund parks, beaches, rivers, and open spaces in LA County.
It will keep us going for another 30 years, and we believe that people in this county understand the value of parks and open space.
This is a small investment for a great return.
The measure replaces a similar measure, Proposition A, passed in 1992, which is about to run out. So far, it has funded 2,000 projects, including the renovation of the Hollywood Bowl and the Griffith Park Observatory. This new measure would raise funds through a parcel tax. All property owners would pay a fee of about $20. But opponents say Proposition P was created in a rush, behind closed doors, with no public input.
The handful of people who didn't approve of it claimed that it was rushed, but it wasn't. This is built on the same premise of Proposition A in 1992, which was very heavily vetted through every stakeholder group in Los Angeles County.
You gonna vote? Yes. Yes on P for parks. Okay.
Meanwhile, for these nature lovers, nothing to do but hike a while longer up the mountain and pass the football, as they wait to see if voters will also cast their ballots on the side of Mother Nature come Tuesday. I'm Anna Marcos for LA This Week.
The current measure on the books, Proposition A, expires next year. 2 decades of raising awareness and creating acceptance, and still going strong. The latest Buddy Walk for Down Syndrome Awareness takes its celebration to City Hall once again with the full support of city leaders. A major milestone celebrated at Los Angeles City Hall, the 20th annual Buddy Walk for Down Syndrome Awareness.
It was really this great moment societally when parents of those with Down syndrome really wanted to take it to the streets, started to create awareness, acceptance.
Over 100 teams signed up to take part, a big change from its humble beginnings at Griffith Park with just a handful of families. This is the second time the Down Syndrome Association of Los Angeles has held its Buddy Walk at City Hall.
How many times are we going to walk around City Hall?
21.
The number 21 refers to the 21st chromosome. An extra copy of chromosome 21 is what creates Down syndrome. This year, and new to the Buddy Walk, was the 21 Fun Run, a walk-run around City Hall led by athletes who were the first individuals with Down syndrome to compete in and complete marathons.
How far did you run? 2 miles.
26.2 miles, which is a marathon, correct?
Marathon.
Yes.
Yes.
She might not have legs long enough to come in first, but she does come in with a smile on her face, and she's ready to do more at all times.
Jennifer Davis helped train these inspiring athletes.
Angela, Antoinette, Jennifer, and Jimmy, who have all completed marathons and made history. And so we want to encourage the younger generations to be active.
When marathon runner Antoinette Mendoza was asked if it was hard running the marathon 3 times, she had this to say.
It's easy.
For individuals with Down syndrome who have long been defined by others for what they can't do, they are reveling at the chance to show the world what they can do. Councilmember Felipe Fuentes was instrumental in bringing the event to City Hall. The walk at City Hall is just one of over 250 Buddy Walks across the country taking place this fall. A Mexican naval training ship makes a stop in Los Angeles, and some Angelinos got a chance to experience the historic vessel up close and personal. Rasha Goel has more.
The Cuauhtémoc, among one of the world's largest tall ships, recently visited the port of Los Angeles, giving Angelinos the chance to come aboard the vessel. The naval tall ship from Acapulco was open for free public tours for 4 days.
It's very nice, it's beautiful, all this old stuff and takes you back in time.
The 297 feet long tall ship is known as the Ambassador and Gentleman of the Seas. It is named after the last Aztec emperor who was imprisoned and executed in 1528.
This is really exciting for us here at the Port of Los Angeles because we had our first tall ship sail in 1542. Juan Rodriguez Cabrillo came in one of these beautiful tall ships, and that eventually turned into now what we see as the container ships, because that was our first way that the cargo was brought into the Port of Los Angeles.
With a crew of 250, this tall ship is used for training to help turn cadets into officers, and once aboard, they learn the ropes with traditional navigation. They are bypassing modern technology in favor of traditional methods.
They are not allowed to use GPS on electronics, only the compasses and the sextant.
This piece of floating history last visited Los Angeles in 2005, and it may be another decade before Angelinos get a close-up look of the historic vessel. In San Pedro, I'm Rasha Goal for LA This Week.
The vessel last visited the Port of LA in 2005 as part of Tall Ships Festival, LA. You may not need to go to business school to acquire skills needed to manage your small business. Graduate-level business training is being offered for free if you qualify. Gloria explains.
Many of these people gathered at Union Station used to be struggling entrepreneurs. That is, until they enrolled in the Goldman Sachs 10,000 Small Businesses program. Classes at LA City College have taught Nadia Haddad to think outside the box.
And then I went back to my business. I said, oh my gosh, there's so many opportunities. I wasn't designed to think that way. I was focusing on my liabilities. I really was. How can I protect myself? But focusing on liabilities will create more liabilities.
The 8-week graduate-level course is funded by the Goldman Sachs Banking Institute. It's committed an extra $5 million to its Southern California program. That's a total of $25 million for education and loans for small businesses since the program's launch in 2010.
Prior to that, I struggled until I got into the Goldman Sachs program, and it helped me increase my bottom line by 35% in 1 year.
Stephen Mann of End Result Health and Fitness says he learned how to create the right financial statements to attract more investors. LA Mayor Eric Garcetti, a supporter of the Crash Course Business School, says the networking opportunities are similar to that of a university's.
When you go to college, it's not just that you went to college, it's that suddenly you are an alum. And with tens of thousands of people, you can tap that network, talk to people. If you don't have the answer to a question, you know somebody who does.
And the icing on the cake, the course is free if you qualify. No student loans to pay, even when your business starts thriving. In downtown LA, Gil Reyes for LA This Week.
The program has served some 560 small businesses in the LA area. To see if yours qualifies, log on to goldmansachs.com/citizenship. Students at Los Feliz Elementary School got a special treat recently as city officials gave them a helping hand with a lesson on the environment. Yana Kay has more.
Melon rinds, moldy bread, toss them in, forge ahead.
These third graders at Los Feliz Charter School are completely engaged as Los Angeles Councilmember Gil Cedillo reads them a book called Smash, Mash, Crash, There Goes the Trash. It's all about putting trash where it belongs.
And if it's not clean, then we can't live.
Councilmember Cedillo's book reading is part of his Keeping It Clean initiative, an ongoing effort to clean the streets in his district, and he says it all begins at home.
I hope that they get a sense of become aware of something that in many instances we're not. The presence of trash, our responsibilities with trash.
The trash lesson coincides with what the students are learning in class, which is about the communities they live in and how we're all connected.
Sometimes, maybe if you drop some trash on the floor, maybe like in the ocean, maybe the fish or the ducks could choke.
Now, Los Angeles City sanitation workers also taught the kids what they could do with old couches and mattresses, and that's to call the city's bulky pickup service instead of leaving them on the street. And the mascots, OctoClean and Connie the Couch, were certainly a big hit, highlighting an important message of why we should all keep our streets clean.
They understand the concept of recycling and saving the environment.
So people can breathe air, and so we will have clean water and save the environment.
And officials hope these kids will put into practice what they learned starting now and into adulthood. I'm Yana Kay for LA This Week.
During Councilmember Gil Cedillo's first year in office, more than 2.5 tons of garbage was removed from city streets. And Councilman Cedillo's Keep It Clean campaign is what inspired a citywide cleanup program. We'll tell you all about it. A woman celebrating her new U.S. citizenship is killed by a hit-and-run driver. And the holidays mean thieves are also on the prowl. These stories in Citybeat. The Los Angeles City Council has approved a $5 million Clean Streets plan for the Bureau of Sanitation to spruce up alleys and sidewalks citywide. The plan also includes devoting at least one day a month to tackling problem areas in each of the city's 15 council districts. Under the newly approved Clean Streets plan, city sanitation staff and council offices will coordinate cleanup schedules using a shared Google Docs spreadsheet. Council offices will also get statistics in real time on the status of cleanups and how much trash was collected and other data. Councilman Gil Cedillo joined LAPD officers to announce a $50,000 reward for information in the hit-and-run death of Gloria Ortiz. The incident occurred on Sunday, September 14th, around 7:50 p.m. Councilman Cedillo said 57-year-old Ortiz had just become a U.S. citizen and had finished a celebratory dinner when she was struck by a car while making her way across the street at Avenue 50 and San Marcos Place.
I'm just asking for any help out there, anybody that saw something, any more information that we have regarding this incident that happened to my mother. She finally became a citizen. That was her dream. She brought us all here legally. She raised us all. And when she finally reached her dream, somebody just out of nowhere took her life.
The hit-and-run vehicle was described as an older model Honda Civic driven by a Hispanic man. According to witnesses, the driver was possibly distracted by his cell phone. As the holiday season quickly approaches, police are asking the public to take steps to ensure personal safety. They say criminals are at the ready to take advantage of unsuspecting shoppers and holiday revelers. Police remind you to travel and park in well-lit areas or areas that are highly populated. Be aware of your surroundings, such as where the nearest exits are in case of fire, earthquake, or other emergencies. And to hide and lock precious belongings in the car, out of the view of thieves. And if you see something suspicious, say something. Report it to police. The mayor has made sure since taking office that he goes to each of the city's 15 districts to meet with constituents personally. A recent mayor's office hour took place in San Pedro. Mayor Eric Garcetti chats with an officer as he arrives for work. But on this day, his office was not at City Hall downtown, but in San Pedro, so he can meet face-to-face with harbor area residents who have requested to meet with him personally. And 3 women from the San Pedro Girls Softball Association are waiting to ask for the mayor's support.
Porta potties are disgusting. Right. We get the people off the street, which the LAPD does show them out when they see them, but they don't see everybody that walks in there.
Dana Wong is among the women meeting with the mayor on this day in hopes of winning over an ally for the Softball Association, which she says is lacking in resources.
We are in dire need of funding for our fields and maintenance. We have over 300 registered girls from the age of 5 to 14 playing.
The mayor's goal in bringing City Hall into the community is so he can meet with people like Dana to hear what everyday residents really want and need.
I take my senior staff and my area representatives and we come and we work in different parts of the city to make sure we're not just stuck in downtown and City Hall. But I'm passionate about the redevelopment of the harbor area, of the communities like Wilmington, San Pedro, Harbor City, Harbor Gateway.
The mayor hailed the recent Tall Ships Festival as a success for the region.
The best news I heard was that the traffic was so bad getting off the freeway. Something we got to solve, but a great problem for San Pedro to have, and evidence that people will come if we make good programming.
The mayor's office hours are taking place at every one of the city's 15 districts because the mayor doesn't just love Wilmington. The mayor held his latest office hours back at City Hall just last week. In this week's list of things to do, a free film screening, a gala featuring kids performing Shakespeare, and California Dreamin'. On Saturday, November 8th at 5:30 p.m., the Autry National Center in Griffith Park will screen the film This May Be the Last Time. More than 50 years after his grandfather mysteriously disappeared, filmmaker Sterling Harjo explores how music helped his community to cope with the loss and examines the role song has played in Native American cultures. After the screening, guests are invited to attend a special catered reception with Sterling Harjo in the museum lobby. The Autry is located at 4700 Western Heritage Way. Admission is free, space is limited. RSVP by going to theautry.org. Hollywood celebrities take the stage with the country's youngest Shakespeare troupe at a Los Angeles Drama Club Gala fundraiser Sunday, November 9th. Children ages 6 to 17, all members of the Shakespeare in the City troupe, will be joined in a performance of A Mid-City Night's Dream by actors including Ed Asner, Lorraine Newman, and Josh Brenner. Doors open at 3 p.m. with the show starting at 3:30. Launched in 2004, Los Angeles Drama Club makes it possible for children, many from underserved communities, to participate in Shakespearean productions. The event takes place at Studio 11, located at 4621 West Washington Boulevard. Following the performance, guests will enjoy music and a feast. For ticket information, go to losangelesdramaclub.com. The Grammy Museum is pleased to present California Dreamin', The Sounds of Laurel Canyon 1965 to 1977, an exhibition that opened this May. This exhibit explores the story of the Los Angeles rock scene from the mid-1960s to the mid-70s, a golden age of music, creativity, and culture. Through rare artifacts from iconic acts, interactive experiences, handwritten lyrics, photographs, and more, the exhibit teaches visitors about the origins of the Laurel Canyon scene and how it developed into a thriving music epicenter. The Grammy Museum is located at 800 West Olympic Boulevard. Go to grammymuseum.org. And that's a look at some upcoming things to do. And another thing to do here in LA is to check out the Hello Kitty exhibit in Little Tokyo in honor of the ageless feline's 40th birthday. That's our This Week in Tweets. The Japanese American National Museum is hosting an exhibit that will be running through April 26th called Hello, exploring the super cute world of Hello Kitty. And at KCET Artbound tweeted this photo from the museum's special exhibit that showcases artists celebrating 4 decades of Hello Kitty. And there's even a Hello Kitty hungry hunt, with restaurants like Cafe Dolce in Little Tokyo taking part by crafting special items on their menu like these donuts and latte. Cafe Dolce is also giving out 20 special Hello Kitty pins a day until they run out. The Geffen Contemporary also held a 4-day Hello Kitty convention. This is what it looked like on opening day. Photo courtesy of @AHealthyDesign. Tickets sold out almost immediately. All of this is great news for tourism in downtown LA, where visitors near and far have come to dine and stay at hotels. That's going to do it for this edition. Thanks for joining us. I'm Ellen Chang. A reminder that you could catch us online at lacitybeat.org. You can also follow and like us on Facebook. We leave you now with some sights and sounds from the Happy Harbor Halloween event along the promenade. We'll see you back here next week for more of LA This Week.
She's scared to touch the spider, but she touched the turtle.
She got to touch them all and she's having a great time.
We come here every